Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that I'm going to show you tonight is literally watching the playbook happen from the gun controllers against the ammunition. Now, I've been very hesitant to say something's going on without actual proof or evidence, or at least some sort of objectivity of what's happening. It's here. Everything will be linked in the description box below, and the New York Times is targeting directly Lake City ammunition. Well, they will always do something for a reason. That's what we're going to explore. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. We are distributing freedom twice daily, and we would love to have you along for the ride. And honestly, guys, this is probably going to make you pretty sick to your stomach. And speaking of digestive issues, see how I did that with the tie-in? We've got to talk about some of the toxicity that's produced by some of the main health foods that are pushed by health experts across the board. There is a world-renowned cardiologist, Dr. Gundry. He has put together a free video right down there in the description box below, which highlights what these toxins are and what foods they come from as well. Go to gutcleanseprotocol.com/Langley to find out these foods and get the free information that they're trying to reach out to you. They're trying to show you things that could affect your health, and it might have a benefit for you. Again, everything is linked, and that is gutcleanse.com/Langley, and thank you so much for checking that out. All right, my brothers and sisters, we have got to hit this because, like I've always said, they're always going to tell you the game plan. They always leak it out. The New York Times, the media, MSNBC, Politico, they will always show you the game plan because they always brag about it. And it's kind of like their little bat signal, all right? This is something that they put on their New York Times in an article which is based around Lake City, the plant for Lake City. Check this out. They actually put this on the before the article. This is a screen share of me walking through and scrolling while this is happening. This is what they're doing as an expose against Lake City. They don't do this without reason. There's a reason I'm showing you this. But all of them. They traced it to crime scenes, and it turns out 84 of 147 were from this manufacturer. You guys seeing the tea leaves here? The same thing they're trying to do with gun manufacturers, they're going to try to do with ammunition. All right, check this out. Because prior to this, it was all rumor and conjecture, and I don't like going out on a limb and saying, hey, this could happen, it might be happening, it's scary happening. I like to have a little bit more hard evidence. Right here, this is in the New York Times. Check this out. Army ammunition plant is tied to mass shootings against the U.S. The site was built for the military, but commercial sales are booming with little public accountability. Rounds have been bought by murderers, anti-government groups, and others. You know, that probably should read by patriots, sportsmen, and others, but, you know, it is the New York Times, whatever. But the point here is they're hitting it specifically. They're linking it to crime. They're linking it to adverse effects on the population because they're going to try to tie in public accountability because, therefore, the Army runs it. They can put their strings into it. This is something, all right, because now you're seeing the whole thing. The initial stand for Lake City Army Ammunition Plant, built during World War II, the federal site in Independence, Missouri, has made nearly all the rifle cartridges used by the U.S. military since it pulled out of Vietnam. Again, New York Times, these are not gun-supporting people. They don't know this information. That's why they're breaking it down and laying out the dossier for attack. I'm telling you, you're going to see more of this. Let's keep going. In recent years, the factory has also pumped billions of rounds of military-grade ammunition. Oh, look at that. Military-style rifles, military-grade ammunition. Are you seeing the same ingredients? An investigation by the New York Times found leaving the LC signature scattered across crime scenes, including the sites of some of the nation's most heinous mass shootings. The plant, operated by a private contractor with Army oversight, that's their tie-in, that's where they'll go next, is now one of the country's biggest manufacturers of commercial rounds for the popular AR-15. Well, wouldn't you know it? AR-15 showed up. Isn't that weird? Well, as we continue on, you're literally seeing a blueprint lay out for gun controllers from the New York Times. This will, I guarantee you, come up again because they've done this every single time something's come out. Assault weapons ban, magazine bans, Office of Gun Violence Prevention. They always front load anything they're going to aim at in the media ahead of time to prime the pump. Every time. Don't doubt me on this. Trust me. Let me show you. The vast majority of Lake City rounds sold by retailers have gone to law-abiding citizens, from hunters to farmers and to target shooters. Some are drawn to them because they are made with the same materials and often the same specifications as the military's. Oh, look at that. There's that military tie-in again. While others see them as an authentic accessory for their tactical weapons and gear. But more than 1 million pages of search warrants, police evidence logs, ballistic reports, forfeiture records, and court proceedings compiled by the Times provide a sweeping account of how Lake City ammunition, once intended for war, has also cut a criminal path across towns and cities in nearly all 50 states. They are trying to go after the manufacturer of ammunition, using the exact same blueprint that they've used for firearms, for the AR-15, for the military-style rifle, oversight, all the buzzwords. If you're not seeing the exact same similarities, I'll try to get some more for you here. Watch this. Lake City rounds have been seized from drug dealers, violent felons, anti-government groups, rioters at the U.S. Capitol, and a smuggler from Mexican cartels. I wonder if they were the ATF agent. They were confiscated from a man in Massachusetts who threatened to assassinate President Barack Obama, and from a man in Los Angeles International Airport after he fired at a civilian and 3 TSA agents, killing one. When the military needs ammunition, the contractor is required to make it, but it is otherwise free to keep production lines humming with commercial operations. This last piece that I'm about to show you culminates in what they're trying to go for. As I've shown you in all these clips from a very lengthy expose on New York Times, they are laying out the blueprint and the groundwork. You're going to start to see some accountability pushes from the executive side of the office through the DOJ. Or not the DOJ, the DOD. I promise you the Department of Defense is going to at least make a statement or do some sort of corrective action or something. Something will happen from this. Let me continue, because this is the way these people operate. The trade-off for ordinary Americans is that the commercial ammunition for the AR-15 is being manufactured in large quantities on government property with little or no public accountability as to how it is marketed or sold. That was it right there. If you had any questions what angle they're going to take on this, there it is in the New York Times. Quite literally, word for word, you're going to see those exact same steps being pushed through the executive bureaucracies and the executive lever pulling because Congress won't do it. Make no doubt about it. This is going to happen now. Prior, this was all conjecture and might and if the sun is showing and this is happening. No. This is in the New York Times. This is gun controller communication. This is like their little paper where they send out to each other. Don't doubt me on this. Everything will be linked in the description box below, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Let me see you on the next one, and I will see you there.